"You crazy." I said, "You're crazy. I'm not shooting no commercial with Larry." So I said, "Okay, what, we're gonna shoot it in LA?"
I would never went to LA to film it.
Well, where are we gonna shoot it?
Magic Johnson has revealed the exact moment that forever changed the greatest rivalry in basketball history, and it wasn't a championship, retirement, or the passage of time. It happened inside the kitchen of Larry Bird's mother, Georgia Bird, in the small town of French Lick, Indiana. This is the story of Magic Johnson, the 5-time NBA champion, 3-time Finals MVP, 12-time All-Star, and one of the 2 superstars who helped transform the NBA into a global phenomenon. Whenever Magic reflects on Larry Bird, people pay attention, because for years these 2 legends weren't just rivals, they genuinely couldn't stand each other. Their fierce competition defined an era and pushed each of them to heights neither could have reached alone. Their rivalry was never about putting on a show for the cameras. The competition was so intense that Lakers coach Pat Riley reportedly instructed his players never to help a Celtics player off the floor. But what truly made the Magic Johnson-Larry Bird rivalry unforgettable wasn't just the fierce battles between them. It was the fact that, beneath their different jerseys, they shared the same relentless drive to win. The first time Magic watched Larry Bird play was before their legendary NCAA championship matchup at the World Invitational Tournament, where top college players faced international competition. Expecting to scout a future opponent, Magic instead witnessed something extraordinary. Bird knocked down shot after shot with incredible precision, displaying a level of shooting that challenged everything Magic thought he knew about the game and immediately earned his respect.
And so he was Steph Curry.
The real shock came once the games began. Kentucky arrived with National Player of the Year Jack Givens, who was expected to prove the dominance of SEC basketball. Instead, Larry Bird completely took over the game. He outplayed Givens from start to finish, leaving Magic Johnson stunned. In that moment, Magic realized Bird wasn't just another talented player, he was a once-in-a-generation competitor.
And Larry Bird, Jack Givens.
Just 6 months later, Larry Bird and Magic Johnson met on the biggest stage in college basketball. On March 26, 1979, Michigan State faced undefeated Indiana State in the NCAA championship game. Bird had become the face of college basketball, appearing on magazine covers across the country, while millions of fans tuned in to watch what became the highest-rated basketball game in American television history. Michigan State's game plan was simple: double-team Bird and force the rest of Indiana State to beat them. The strategy worked. Michigan State claimed a 75-64 victory, and Bird struggled by shooting just 7 of 21 from the field. Magic Johnson finished the championship game with 24 points and thrilled fans with his exciting style of play, including one of basketball's first memorable alley-oop highlights on a national stage. Soon after, the NBA placed both stars in the perfect situation. Larry Bird joined the Boston Celtics after being drafted in 1978 and returning for his final college season, while Magic was selected first overall by the Los Angeles Lakers in the 1979 NBA draft. Suddenly, basketball's 2 most historic franchises had their next superstars, creating a rivalry that would define an entire generation. At that time, the NBA was struggling financially, with most teams losing money, and the league desperately needed something to bring fans back. At the time, the NBA was struggling to stay relevant. Finals games were often shown on tape delay late at night, many players stayed in modest hotels, and baseball and football dominated the sports world. Even Magic Johnson's incredible rookie season couldn't change everything overnight. He led the Lakers to an NBA championship, became the first rookie ever to win Finals MVP, and joined a select group of players to win both an NCAA title and an NBA championship in back-to-back seasons. Yet when the Rookie of the Year award was announced, Larry Bird won it in a decisive vote, adding another unforgettable chapter to their growing rivalry. Magic Johnson later admitted that losing the Rookie of the Year award to Larry Bird stayed with him. It fueled his competitive fire and made their rivalry even more personal. From that moment on, every game against Bird became more than just another matchup. It became a chance to prove who was truly the best.
Who would ever? Yeah, right.
This rivalry was never created for headlines or television. It was built on decades of fierce competition between the Celtics and Lakers. Lakers coach Pat Riley told his players never to help a Celtics player off the floor, while Celtics coach Red Auerbach demanded the same relentless mindset from Boston. For 8 unforgettable years, Bird and Magic battled on basketball's biggest stage. The Celtics won the 1984 NBA Finals with Larry Bird earning Finals MVP. The Lakers answered in 1985, with Magic Johnson leading Los Angeles to the title and winning Finals MVP. In 1987, the Lakers captured another championship, further cementing one of the greatest rivalries in sports history. Year after year, one of the two legends was raising the NBA trophy, and their battles became the foundation of the league's rise in popularity. Against Bird in the NBA Finals, Magic averaged 19.5 points, 7.7 rebounds, and 11.2 assists per game. Larry Bird matched Magic's brilliance by averaging 25.3 points, 11.1 rebounds, and 4.6 assists in the NBA Finals while leading the Celtics alongside Kevin McHale and Robert Parrish. Their matchups were more than basketball games. They became intense mental battles watched by millions around the world. Then, in 1987, something unexpected happened. Converse invited both superstars to film a commercial together in French Lick, Indiana, Larry Bird's hometown. With a population of just 1,800 people, it was the small town where Bird had grown up, working long hours from a young age to help support his family. That visit would become the moment their legendary rivalry began to change forever.
I was pissed, man. I was mad.
Magic Johnson later recalled that he had no idea he was about to meet the person who would change the way he viewed Larry Bird forever. That person was Georgia Bird, Larry's mother. Born Georgia Marie Corns in 1930, she raised 6 children through some of the toughest circumstances imaginable. After her marriage to Joe Bird ended, she became the family's foundation. In 1975, when Larry was only 18 years old, Joe died by suicide, leaving Georgia to carry the responsibility of raising her children alone. Living in one of Indiana's poorest areas, she worked multiple jobs and made every possible sacrifice to keep her family together. She stretched every dollar, borrowed money when needed, and always found a way to provide. This was the woman who welcomed Magic Johnson to her front porch in French Lick in 1987, and that meeting would change the story of one of sport's greatest rivalries.
I'm like, yeah, right.
Magic Johnson was stunned when he heard Georgia Bird say that he was her favorite player. The mother of his greatest rival had shown him a side of Larry Bird he had never seen before. But the biggest change happened when Magic and Larry sat down together for a meal. For the first time in nearly 8 years, they stopped seeing each other as opponents and started seeing each other as people. They were no longer just the Lakers icon and the Celtics superstar. They were two kids from small towns who used basketball as a way to overcome difficult beginnings. James Worthy saw the change happen firsthand. He said the Converse commercial helped people realize that Bird and Magic were never true enemies. They were two competitors who simply hated losing. But the intensity of their rivalry came with a heavy price. Bird's back injury, suffered while doing physical work at his mother's home, affected him for the rest of his career. Magic also pushed his body to its limits, chasing greatness year after year. Both legends eventually stepped away from the game earlier than expected because their bodies could no longer keep up with their relentless drive. When Magic Johnson revealed his HIV diagnosis on November 7, 1991, Larry Bird was devastated. Celtics rookie Rick Fox witnessed a side of Bird that few people had ever seen. The same player who remained calm through the toughest moments on the court was now overwhelmed with emotion for someone who had once been his greatest rival. Their relationship had grown far beyond basketball. Together, Bird and Magic changed the sport forever. From 1979 to 1991, they combined for 8 NBA championships, 6 Finals MVP awards, and 6 regular season MVP trophies. More importantly, they helped turn a struggling league into a worldwide phenomenon and became the driving force behind the NBA's rise in popularity. By 1989, NBC's NBA broadcast deal had grown to $600 million, a massive increase from just $88 million 7 years earlier. But the true legacy of Larry Bird and Magic Johnson was never only about championships, awards, or statistics. They proved that greatness often requires someone strong enough to challenge you every step of the way. Magic once said there would be no Larry Bird without Magic Johnson, and no Magic Johnson without Larry Bird. Today, their lives look completely different. Magic has built a billion-dollar business empire, while Bird enjoys a quieter life away from the spotlight. Yet the bond between them remains stronger than ever. It was a connection built through competition, respect, and the understanding that behind the jerseys and the rivalry were two people who changed each other's lives. As Magic has explained, their story was never just a battle between opponents. It was a friendship that began as a rivalry, and it took the wisdom of Larry's mother to help them see what was there all along.